Welcome to our Ninja Time Elements tier list. In this video, we'll be ranking all the elements from D tier to S tier, breaking down their strengths, weaknesses, and how they perform in battle. Choosing the right element is crucial in Ninja Time, as it affects your damage, combos, crowd control, and overall combat effectiveness. Whether you're aiming for high burst damage, strong AO attacks, or defensive abilities, this tier list will help you pick the best option for your playstyle. Some elements are absolute game changers, giving you powerful abilities that dominate in both 1v1 fights and group battles. Others, however, struggle to keep up and may hold you back, especially in higher level combat. That's why we're ranking them from D tier, the weakest, to S tier, the absolute best, so you know exactly which elements are worth using. If you're enjoying Ninja Time clans and want to stay ahead of the competition, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. We're constantly dropping the latest tier lists, guides, and updates, so don't miss out. Also, let us know in the comments which element you're using and if you agree with our rankings. Now, let's get started with D tier and work our way up to the strongest elements in the game. The copyright D tier A Earth elements. Starting with D tier, we have the Earth element. This is arguably the weakest element in Ninja Time, and while it does have some defensive capabilities, it falls short in almost every other aspect of combat. The main strength of Earth element is its defensive abilities, which can help in boss fights or situations where you need to tank damage. However, outside of that, it doesn't offer much. Its damage output is very weak, making it a poor choice for players who want to deal significant damage in fights. Unlike other elements that provide crowd control, CC, or high burst damage, Earth element struggles to make an impact offensively. Another major issue is that its CC is almost non-existent, meaning it lacks abilities to stun, slow, or immobilize enemies. This makes it one of the least effective elements in both 1v1s and team fights. While some defensive abilities might be useful in or survival-based fights, it simply doesn't hold up in fast-paced PvP combat. Final thoughts on D tier. The Earth element is only useful in very specific scenarios, but overall, it lacks the damage, utility, and effectiveness needed to compete with higher tier elements. If you're looking for a strong combat element, this one is not recommended. Now, let's move on to C tier. The broken bar. C tier A lightning element. Moving up to C tier, we have the lightning element. While it's definitely stronger than D tier, it still has several weaknesses that hold it back from being a top tier choice. The biggest strength of lightning element is its high damage output combined with group crowd control, CC. It has moves that can temporarily stun enemies, which can be useful in both 1v1 fights and group battles. Additionally, it has good AO potential, meaning you can hit multiple opponents at once. However, despite these strengths, lightning element gets outclassed by higher tier options. While its stunts and CC are nice, they aren't as reliable or effective as those from S tier or A tier elements. It also struggles in team fights, where other elements provide better damage, CC, and overall utility. One of its major downsides is that while it excels in 1v1 combat, it doesn't translate well into larger battles. Other elements simply have stronger abilities, better synergy with top tier clans, and more versatility in different combat situations. Final thoughts on C tier. Lightning element is a decent choice for solo fights, but it struggles in team battles and lacks the versatility of higher ranked elements. While it isn't completely useless, it's not the best option either. If you're looking for a more well-rounded or dominant element, you'll want to go for something in B tier or higher. Now, let's move on to B tier. The diaresis. B tier A water element. Moving up to B tier, we have the water element. This element is somewhat similar to wind, but it falls short due to its lower damage output. While it has some useful crowd control, CC, abilities, it lacks the DPS, damage per second, needed to be a top tier choice. The biggest strength of water element is its strong CC, which makes it a great support element in team fights. If you're playing in group battles, you can use water's abilities to disrupt enemies and control the battlefield. This makes it valuable in coordinated fights, where locking down opponents can give your team an advantage. However, Its major weakness is its damage. Compared to other elements, water simply doesn't hit hard enough, especially in 1v1 scenarios. While it can be useful in a support role, it struggles to be a primary damage dealer. Against aggressive opponents with high burst damage, water users can find themselves at a disadvantage. Final thoughts on B tier. The water element is a solid choice for team-based gameplay, thanks to its strong CC and battlefield control. However, its low damage output makes it a weaker option in solo fights, especially when compared to higher tier elements. If you prefer a supportive play style, water can work, but if you want to dominate fights, you'll need something stronger. Now, let's move on to A tier. FE section. A tier. A fire wind elements. Now, we're in A tier, where the fire and wind elements stand out as some of the strongest choices in Ninja Time. Both of these elements provide great damage, versatility, and synergy with top tier clans, making them solid picks for almost any play style. The Ian fire element. Fire is one of the best burst damage elements, offering a great mix of range and AO attacks. It has the ability to deal high damage quickly, making it a deadly option in both 1v1 and group fights. What makes fire even better is how well it works with top tier clans, especially Red Eyes, which enhances its already strong abilities. The main reason fire isn't S tier is that while it has high damage, it doesn't have the same crowd control or insane AO potential that the strongest elements in the game provide. However, it's still one of the best elements for players looking for strong offense and great synergy with top tier buffs. FEO superscript. A wind element. Wind is another amazing A tier element, offering a balanced mix of burst damage, AO, and crowd control. What makes wind stand out is its defense breaking abilities, which allow you to weaken enemy defenses while dealing strong DPS. This makes wind a great choice for players who want both offensive and strategic advantages. Wind is especially good for clans that focus on high speed or melee combat, as it allows you to quickly close the gap and apply pressure to opponents. It works well in both solo and group fights, making it one of the most versatile elements in the game. Final thoughts on A tier. Both fire and wind are powerful elements that offer high damage, strong AO, and good synergy with top tier clans. They aren't quite S tier, but they come very close. If you're looking for a reliable and strong element, either of these will serve you well in almost any combat situation. Now, it's time for the best of S tier. Before we get into S tier, if you've made it this far, make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. We're constantly dropping the latest tier lists, guides, and updates to help you stay ahead in Ninja Time clans. Also, let us know in the comments which element you're using and if you agree with our rankings. Do you think fire or wind should be S tier, or is there another element you'd rank higher? We want to hear your thoughts. Alright, now let's get into the best elements in the Gamia S tier. FE and S tier. A ice element. At the very top of our tier list, we have the ice element, standing alone in S tier as the strongest element in Ninja Time. This element dominates in both 1v1 and group fights, making it the best choice for any combat situation. AY Ice is S tier. The biggest strength of Ice is its high AO potential and insane DPS. Unlike other elements that may specialize in either single target burst or crowd control, Ice offers the best of both worlds. It has large area of effect moves that hit multiple enemies at once while also dealing consistent, high damage over time. Another reason why Ice is the best element is its low cooldowns and easy to aim skills. Many top tier elements require precise aiming or long cooldowns, but Ice allows you to spam powerful attacks more frequently, giving you a huge advantage in fights. This element is also highly effective in both solo and team battles, meaning you don't need to rely on others to make it work. Whether you're in 1v1 duels or large-scale group fights, Ice ensures that you're always a threat on the battlefield. Final thoughts on S tier. Simply put, Ice is the best element in Ninja Time. It has everything you could want: a high damage, AO potential, low cooldowns, and versatility in any fight. If you're looking for the strongest element to dominate Ninja Time, Ice is the clear winner. That wraps up our Ninja Time elements tier list. Let us know in the comments if you agree with our rankings, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more Ninja Time Clans content.